Do you like edit out parts?
No.
Yeah, can you cut? Oh.
I'm getting really nervous right now. I don't talk this much ever.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Verboman and Podcast, a new series that is, okay, see here, people are laughing. First time. No, but I understand it's a bit strange because this is the first time I'm shooting this podcast not in France, not in Le Havre with my friends. We have another guest which is not from my university. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hey,
actually,
everyone.
not a guest, he's another speaker, but go ahead.
Yeah, so Pete,
Yes.
Pietro.
Yeah, that's me. Though.
Yeah, that's new name of Pietro. Recruited me as a new co-host apparently during our year here in Korea. My name is Cerny.
He can speak basically all the languages in Europe, so that's why I thought.
That's cap. But yeah, I come from Andorra, born and raised in Andorra, greatest country in the world. But I'm studying in Barcelona and I'm half Spanish as well. So yeah, kind of a mix as well.
Good stuff. And then we have today two special guests, of course. Actually, all our guests are special, so don't think you're more special than other people.
They are.
There you go. If you want to introduce quickly yourself, I don't know your name, where are you from? I see
All right. Sorry.
the energy you have.
Yeah.
Let's
I
go.
want to go, man. Like,
Home, you wanna go home.
No, do this podcast. I'm Nolan. I'm from the United States, so I'm from Colorado. Born in California, moved to Colorado. Now I go to school in the great state of Omaha, Nebraska.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure all our listeners know where Nebraska is.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
There you go.
Pietro asked me to be on here, or I kind of more so just forced myself to be here. He said, we're going to pick this podcast up again. And I looked him in the eyes and said, I'd love to be your first guest.
Wow,
so,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was almost crying when you said that. It was amazing.
And
Very
now I'm
touching.
here, so.
And then?
All right, I'm Mackenzie. I'm from the States, but I'm also half Korean, and I'm an international student here full time. Yeah, Cerny asked me to be here because of my half Korean, half American background, and I guess same for Nolan too.
Yeah, I'm
We're
also
vibing
half
with
Korean.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's quite fun because we didn't really plan on this, but it happened. So adds to the show, I guess. And it's also good, like we should point out that you're actual student here, whereas we are all exchange students. So at the end of the year, we'll all be going home, but you're still here.
I
stuck
know, it
in,
sucks.
So,
It sucks.
I mean, I'm not sure about that, but yeah. So what we want to talk about today is we call this episode bursting out the bubble, and the main idea is that as exchange students, or in general as international students, we might be in bubbles and we don't really integrate in the Seoul community that much. Of course, we cannot meet everyone because there is 10 million people here, but at the same time, we do tend to hang out kind of with specific people. And so at first, I was wondering if you could talk with us a bit about before coming here. Would you consider yourself a sociable person in whatever place you used to call home before coming here?
Yeah, I mean, definitely no. Yes and no. I mean, we kind of talked about this before the podcast, but when I want to be sociable, I definitely need to force myself to get out there, get out of my comfort zone, and start meeting new people and introducing myself, being the first person to initiate contact. Back home in the States, I pretty much had like no friends my first year of college. So the dean of my college thought I had no friends, and I wanted to transfer out, but the second year I decided to stay, and I was like, all right, I had to change my whole mindset to this super sociable guy, and I started I would watch videos on like how to overcome social anxiety, because it's something that I had really bad, and I still get it. But I mean, it was crazy because I really put myself out of that comfort zone, and I kind of created a new mode where I will go out there and talk to new people and be like, okay, I don't really care what this person thinks because I just want to meet new people and introduce them. So like at home, I'm not the most sociable person, but if I try, I can be. But
I guess you need the motivation of your dean roasting you. So
yes,
no,
I need the motivation of my dean and my
let's go.
like parents being like, wow, this guy's a loser, to just like
wow,
prove
that's
him
rough.
wrong.
That's rough. Wow.
No, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But then like I met new friends my beginning of my second year, and you know it's good when your parents are like, I think you're starting to have too much fun now. Reel it back.
That's the validation there.
The socialness, and I was like, I did a good job. And honestly, since then, I've like just become reverted back to my introverted self, back at home at least. Here, I've started to, activate social skills again because I want to meet new people. But
That's great. And so, Mackenzie, when you arrived here, it was different, right? Because you experienced this city under COVID, so socialization, or however you pronounce that, was already harder. So how does this apply to you? Did it change the way you make friends or the way you get and talk to people?
So actually, I didn't come here last semester. I've been here for almost 2 years now. I came during my senior year of high school, actually, because I was still attending high school in the States, but since all the classes were online, I was able to come back and visit my mom, and I hadn't seen her for like 2 years at the time, so I came to visit originally just for like a month and then go back. But then I ended up staying here for the rest of my senior year. I missed graduation, prom, and everything. But during that time, there was the restrictions, like the curfew and everything, so for me, that year was really, really difficult because I wasn't a part of like any community in Korea since I was attending school online through a high school in the States. And then, so basically my only friend was my mom for a whole year. So that was interesting.
But that happens to people. I mean, I know in the States it's very hard to find people who, and here in Korea, like a lot of students here live with their families here. And in the States it's completely different. Everyone's moving to academic city or like somewhere far from home to do university. In Europe, sometimes it's different, I would say. Like there's people who live with their families and people who have to move to the big cities to, in order to study, and also people like you or me who we have to like move to another country to study, and then that kind of like opens this switch of having to be social because you don't know people, you don't have your circle of friends that you have normally at home. Like you're exposed to a whole different place, and then that's kind of like you already have this mindset of having
you
to
can have
have
some
friends.
experience in this field. You know that you have to make friends and no one else around there knows you. Maybe they don't even speak your language. I think that's actually quite interesting to having to interact with new cultures that interpret the way you behave in completely different ways than your friend back home or in whatever other country you've been before. I think that's kind of, at least for me, it changes the way I interact with people. I don't think I behave the same way here in Korea than I would behave in France or I would behave in Italy, just because it's so different social context, and that really, I think, at least for me, affected a lot my socialization skills. And about that, actually, about social context and trying maybe to look for something that you're more familiar with, how diverse are your in terms of nationalities, your groups of friends? So how local they are or how international they are, more or less?
Here or like back in the States?
No, here, yeah.
Here? Well, I'm going to start from actually back home. So, like, I played golf starting from, like, the age of 5. So, a lot of the golf community, I didn't have to, like, since I'm already in that community, I don't have to go out of my way to make friends. Like, when you play golf, you're playing 18 holes, you're stuck with the same people for, like, in a group of 4 people, same people for, like, 8 or 4 hours, right? So, I have to, like, talk to them, otherwise it's awkward. So, like, that's the kind of social experience I had back home.
I mean, if I may say that, that's a suggestion here. But like, if I may say, I don't want to be controversial, but maybe playing golf to begin with is kind of awkward in general. I've never met someone.
Hey,
it's a fun sport.
It's very boring to watch.
I can say
that.
On the Wii is super fun. In real person, I don't know.
It's
I've never
so
played
frustrating on the Wii.
Why? It's perfect.
I agree. It's tough.
Is it?
The Wii is hard. I'm so bad at Wii golf.
The real experience of being out there is way better, you know. Walking
rich
around with
here.
those seniors, retired seniors. Yeah.
Oh,
no, that's bad.
Okay, I see.
That's the worst.
Okay.
But yeah, so like when I played golf, a lot of the golf community was international. Like I met a lot of Chinese people, Indian people. Yeah, so I've kind of been exposed to that for.
And I mean, you've lived everywhere in the world anyway, so...
Yeah, I lived in Florida, South Carolina, and Michigan, and then a year in China, so, like, I've been to
Where in China?
I lived in Guangzhou, which is, like, near Hong Kong. It's near Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah. It's very big, like, it's the biggest, one of the most important regions of China, in terms of economics. And, like, Nolan, you were talking about how, like, here you actually interact more with European people rather than Americans. And, does it bring any difference? Like, is it any different from the US?
I mean,
in terms.
honestly, like a lot of my friends, they're like personality-wise, like jokes on a humor level, they're really similar to my friends back in the States, but they're a lot more diverse in the sense that they come from so many different backgrounds. Like you, I did skiing competitively all throughout middle school and high school, and how you have to do, how you have to do the 18 holes, you have to ride up these ski lifts for so long and wait in lines with these people, like you're not going to become friends with them, And I guess my experience with friends all the time, I guess as soon as I moved to Colorado, was they've been mostly just white dudes, some white girls, but that's it really. Because I mean, if you think skiing, there's not a lot of diverse skiers, especially in Colorado. It's considered more of a rich man's sport. So
I mean, it's quite expensive. I would say.
It's super expensive. So they all came from like similar backgrounds, and then in high school it was the same thing. All boys private Catholic high school, similar backgrounds with them. I think, here for me it's cool because people have that like a different home setting. I'd say back in the States, I had a different home setting than everyone, and a lot of people had the same experience when they would go home from school. Mine would be completely different. Whereas, here,
everyone's is completely different.
Something I would add up to that is like when you're raised in one of these like athletic environments, like curious enough, I've also competed in alpine skiing for greatest part of my life, and it's all white sport, especially if you're in Europe. Like
I mean, especially if you're on the mountains, it's like
exactly. Like it's all white sport, and I was surrounded by, like, although I competed internationally, like pretty much all my friends I knew who they were before. Like although there was people that I could like know them, because you knew them like through Instagram or like you knew the global rankings and stuff like that. And when I started in university, it's like by the looks I could already judge where people in Spain came from. Like it's not a blank sheet. And when I arrived here, although there's international people also in my home university in Spain, here I was just like talking to people who were a blank sheet. I didn't know where they came from. I didn't know what they were up to. It was like
hard to adjust your social settings to them.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like completely different because you're gonna do. I think it's really bad to judge before, obviously, that's what we'll do.
Need some context.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have context, and you don't know. The only thing you know when you arrive here is it's a student, exchange student. That's the only thing you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's very interesting because talking about friends, friends, not the country. Pronunciation is not the best. But anyways, we talk about students, right? We never mention people outside of our university, and I think that's interesting too. So, for me at least, I found it quite hard to get to know people that are local and that are from outside Sogang. I was wondering if it's the same thing for you. Also, there is a bag here that's bothering me a lot, but just don't mind me. I don't know if you have something to share about this, meeting people that are not from our university. You were talking about how, I mean, you party often, so you have a lot of bartender friends, which is smart and it's something useful.
The friend group that I'm part of right now, actually, there's 4 French people, so they have their like own little group. But I think, they have their own little group. So then somehow, like my American friends, like Kaya was telling you, and then this other girl, Andrea, they became friends with them. So like, and they go to Seoul National University. What are you guys doing?
No, nothing.
Chilling.
No, I have this thing where I try to grab them with one hand. And I'm a bit distracted by that, but go ahead. I am 100% focused.
That's like the only way I've met people outside of Sogang, like besides the bartender people. But that's just because I go partying, and like since I live in a share house, my roommate, he's a 20-year-old Korean guy, and his like outside of work, his only thing that he does is partying, clubbing. So then I actually met the bartender through him.
Okay. And what about, because you actually have completely different lifestyles, right? Like you live inside university.
Yeah, we have to mention Pietro and Mackenzie, they're living outside of the campus, like shared apartments or shared houses.
You don't really have the incentive to like make friends outside of Sogang, though.
No, not really.
You're not even given the opportunity to.
No.
You're not given the opportunity, and everything is kind of, you don't really need to try that hard either, because you see them every day for breakfast and stuff at the dorms and everything. Like, I love seeing Pietro because I don't see him all the time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, all my friends in the dorm, like Gonzaga, I see on a daily basis. So, you know, there's not really much of an incentive, like you were saying, to go out and like get out of that Gonzaga bubble. Especially me, I'm only here for a semester, so I don't really feel the need to go out and activate, you know, all the social skills that I do or do not have, depending on who you talk to. Again, you know, so
Yeah, it's convenient.
yeah, it's convenient. Just
you're staying
being in
here
the dorm.
4 months, so you want to actually develop, if you want to, and here I quote, too hot to handle, if you want to develop a meaningful connection, you want to actually like spend some time with people. So if you just go around, so it's like more of a kind of a structural thing where it looks like if you have the opportunity to meet someone, then you do, but otherwise you just don't. And do you, so we're kind of in some form of like a passive bubble where we don't really decide when we are in the bubble, we're not, but a lot of stuff kind of pushes us into one. And I was wondering, what do you think about this? Is it something positive for you or something negative to be around people that are quite close to you? Is there any negative aspect to this in terms of not experiencing diversity or like some potential opportunities that you think you're losing?
I think there's a time limit to where you can try and really socialize. So like for exchange students, like when you first get here at the beginning of the semester, you're going to try and meet as many people as possible, right? Because you don't know anybody. You're trying to find the group that you want to hang out with for the rest of the semester. And then as time goes on, so like say 2 months now, like you've already found your group. So after that, like you're already in this group. You're not going to make an effort to go and like socialize with other people because you're comfortable with them, I think. So I think there's a time limit to it as well.
So it's like, only up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a curve actually, like the amount of people, like there's this the learning curve like in companies and so forth, which goes up super fast and then it's super flat. And I think when you are socializing in the exchange environment, it's kind of pretty much the same, like within the first it doesn't diminish, but I would say initially when people arrive here, they want to talk with everyone, and you get out like from the minimal interaction that you have, you want to like meet that person again because you don't know if you're gonna have that much friends.
Yes.
But once you have this group established, it's very hard to like
break outside
of it and like find different connections and different groups because like I think all the groups are close and it's hard.
And why would you even, right? Like you have your friends.
Yeah, you have your friends already.
I mean, if you're in a friend group with Nolan, maybe you want to get out as fast as possible. But anyone else, it's fine. It's chill.
No, yeah, you don't really, you know, we've been here, what, 2 months? 2.5?
Nearly 2.5.
Yeah,
1
so
month and 9 days.
Yeah, you come here and especially like exchange students like us, we get here and there's this period where nobody has met like anyone. So there's no social groups at all. And, you know, so everyone's kind of on the same boat. So you could kind of take comfort in that when meeting new friends and getting out there. But, you know, weeks go by and these social groups start getting formed and you get more comfortable with your friends. You know, like what to talk about, like what to say to make them laugh, you know, their interests. And there's not really an incentive, like you guys were saying, to go out there and meet, you know, join like a different social group, whether you want to or not. I know that like if you guys are friends with me, you know, it kind of sucks being the second handsomest guy in the friend group. So
For you, yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So you might want to leave, but you know, for me, I feel no reason to get out there and meet new people just because I'm so comfortable around all of my friends at this point.
But at the same time, you were. Oh no, sorry.
No, say. So on top of that, like apart from having like the group of friends established, do you feel that you're missing opportunities of doing plans that you wanted to do before or you had in your bucket list, and then you realize that because you want to spend time with these people and you have to readjust a little bit which activities you want to do whilst here on exchange? Have you had that experience of not like initially wanting to engage to everything that the group was doing, but then I don't know, having this feeling of God and be like, I'm not doing all the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah, I think it was especially relevant for you, Mackenzie, because you've been here for longer than anyone else.
Yeah, so like being a full-time student and then always associating myself with exchange students makes it difficult because like once they come, like, they want to have their first experiences, do all these things, and then, so, like, when I first came here last semester, I was down to do everything because it was my first experience, just like it was theirs. But then this semester, like, new exchange people come, and then I become friends with them, and then they want to do the same experiences that I already had last semester. So then it's like, I want to be in this friend group, and I want to do everything, become close with them, but then, like, I don't have the same passion to, like, go out there and do everything and be spontaneous the way I was last semester.
You're not a newbie anymore. You're like
yeah. And then like
now.
So like the next semester I'm gonna have to do the same thing, you know, and it's like
yeah. And I mean 4 years, 2 semesters per year, visiting Namsan Tower 8 times at one point.
Exactly.
You know where is Paris, you know where is Rome. It's a bit boring.
Exactly.
I think we were talking about like the different values too before this. Like you were saying that you have like, you know, obviously you want to have fun, and it seems like a lot of, you know, exchange students just want to party, but you want to study, and because you're in it for the long term, whereas a lot of people aren't. I think a lot of us, at least in this room are on that boat. Like we also want to have fun, but we got to balance our school with each other. And it just like those different values within friend groups is a big thing. But I mean, they're your friends, so you get over it, but like, you know, they're like, I know my friends, a lot of them want to go to like Latte World, Namsan Tower, super touristy things. And, you know, we mentioned earlier, like, yeah, my values for that, for being here, you know, the tourist stuff is cool, but I'm half Korean and I want to experience like what made my mother and my grandparents the way they are, and in turn what made me the way I am. So I want to go to just super local restaurants. I want to go to like things that people might think suck or are boring, but I find interesting to me. Like in Jeju, I ran into this lady who went to Sogang. She was this really old Korean lady, and the sweetest thing in the world, she said, we got to go to this rock garden. And I said, okay. And she was like, all the like Korean people in Jeju go see it. So to me, like, it was like that local thing. And I think the values really came out there because we took our whole friend group with us, and a lot of them were like, this sucks. I want to see the waterfall and everything. And, you know, I thought that it was cool though, because you're walking around and you see all like these really old people like thinking it's the coolest thing ever. And to me, like, that's what I value the most. Whereas, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do other stuff. It just
different priorities.
Different perspectives.
I think that comes along with there are different synergies in the group, and after you have spent this like trial time, and then you get to know everyone in the group, because the groups that are formed here for exchange students, like, they tend to be very big. That's not a group of friends that you would normally have at your home university. Like, you wouldn't find a group of people who are 11 and going to Jeju as group of 10.
Wow. Like, yeah, honestly, I was surprised.
That would be strange. You know?
We pulled that, honestly. 11 people in one house.
I don't know how we did
exactly.
What we did.
Yes.
But once they're like, we knew each other before, but we didn't like really spend time. Like, we didn't go through the silence together. I value that a lot, and I think Nolan, we've talked a lot about that. You'd like to travel alone as well, and I do really like to do plans alone and so forth. And here, I think that everyone's having the same feeling. Everyone's right now, after 2 months, is starting to do more plans of what they really want to do, because they already spent too much time with that people. There's not that many things to talk about. So when you're going to plans and then you realize that's not what I want to do, or then the values is important that you mention it, because maybe I realized it the most going to restaurants. You want to go to I really like to go into restaurants where I just see Korean seniors. If I see Korean seniors, that's the that's the restaurant I'm getting into. If I see super fancy place with like the menu in English and so forth, obviously that would be easier for us. Like, but I don't know. That's not the experience, and it's kind of it represents the bubble. Like you trying to go out of the bubble, but sometimes if you want to embark into these plans, you have to do it by yourself or with that one person that you know it's on the same wavelength, I think.
Yeah, it's like the bubble itself is those people, so going out of it might imply not staying with those people anymore. But I think it's something valuable because it also teaches you to orient yourself in a new place that is completely different from anything at least I was used to before. This is the first time in my life I go to a supermarket where there is no canned tomatoes inside, which might sound weird, but for me it was shocking because I don't know, it was an amazing experience. Anyways, so thank you very much for all of this. We close on a very random note, but kind of got philosophical in the end. I mean, don't quote us on this stuff. Thank you very much for listening to this. Thank you guys for coming, because this is the first episode. We will do our best to release one episode every week, but we'll see how it goes. And so you can find this, of course, on Spotify or Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, but you can also find it on YouTube, where you can see the...
Oh, I forgot it's recorded.
There you go. This is the reaction everyone has when they
I
tell
got
them.
the hat on. Nobody will
Yes,
notice
it's
you.
fine.
You can edit them out saying your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we don't tell anyone.
Pedro's gonna
before.
blur your face.
Exactly, yeah.
There you go. But I mean, you get to see the supposedly the most handsome man in the world, so you can judge for yourself how much he's wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and bye. Okay, yes, saying bye with the hand.
Bye.
Deuces.
That was
To a
fun.
microphone. Okay.
Yeah, that was quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. Yeah.